Dad, I want to come home. I don't like being at this stranger's house.
Huh? What are you talking about? He's not a stranger. You're at Mr. Murphy's house.
But I don't know him. Why did you send me to live with the regional manager from your office? You said it was for my own good, but is that really the truth? Everything happened so quickly, and he just came to get me without any notice the other day. I got the packages you had sent here, but it looks like you shipped absolutely everything of mine here. I don't think there's anything of mine left in your house. Why didn't you discuss any of this with me? And I had to change schools too. I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye to my friends.
Monica, I just want to make you happy. If you're living at Mr. Murphy's house, you'll get everything you need. And you'll get delicious food made for you every day. And next year, when you go to college, Mr. Murphy is going to pay for you to go to the college you've always wanted to go to. Money is no object for him. He makes good money as a regional manager, but that's just the tip of it. His whole family is rich. You saw how big their house is. He's even got a butler. Don't you think this is a great opportunity for you? You know I'm in a lot of debt here. You know I can't give you any of the things you want if you stay with me. Right? I just want you to have the life you've always wanted.
But I don't care about any of that. I was never expecting you to give me everything or to pay for my college. I'm gonna get a scholarship, and I saved up all the money I was making from my part-time job. I plan on working while I'm in college, too.
Monica, please. I think you're overthinking everything, don't you?
It's not even about all that. I don't like being at Mr. Murphy's house. I can't do this. And Mr. Murphy is always looking at me with a strange expression on his face. His eyes when he looks at me. He's creeping me out. It's driving me crazy.
You're just looking for excuses. Don't speak ill of our regional manager like that. He's my boss.
It's not in my head. He's really creepy. He scares me. You've got to believe me. And I've got no friends at this new high school. I've got no one I can rely on here. Dad, please. I want to go home. What's gonna happen to me if I stay here?
Monica, just calm down. Listen. You're overreacting. Mr. Murphy wouldn't dream of touching you. Do you know how much older he is than you? He's got to be at least 40 years older than you. You've got nothing to worry about. You don't really think he's gonna try something with you, do you?
What? I think he will. That's the whole reason why I messaged you. Why are you acting like this? Dad, I love you. Why are you doing this to me? What are you thinking? Your own daughter is asking you to help her. You won't even believe her when she says something's wrong. I can't believe this.
Sorry, Monica. I want to help you, but I'm not in any position to do that. And I moved. I'm sorry, but aside from Mr. Murphy's house, there's no other place for you to go.
What? What happened to our house?
I sold it.
What? You're kidding, right? That house is full of memories from when Mom was alive. You sold it without telling me?
I'm sorry, sweetie, but I had to pay off my debts. I was overdue on all the payments. I know your mom would understand.
But why wouldn't you tell me first? I grew up in that house. It's the only home I've ever known. And now it's gone? That's the only place I've ever belonged. Why would you do that?
This was bound to happen sooner or later.
Are you really saying that I can't go back and live with you anymore? All this because you had debt?
I'm afraid so.
You're not lying to me, are you? You're not hiding something from me, are you?
I told you it was because I was in debt, didn't I? My new place is too small for 2 people. The only place you can live now is with Mr. Murphy. Look, there's only about 6 months left of high school anyway. You want to graduate high school, don't you? If you leave Mr. Murphy's house, you'll have to drop out of high school. Then you'll never get a job. Is that what you want? Just put up with it for 6 months. After that, you'll be heading to college anyway. You're just not used to Mr. Murphy's house yet. That's why you still feel a little uneasy about everything. Just tough it out for a little longer and everything will be fine. I promise. If things still don't work out, I'll see what I can do. Okay? I'm on your side, Monica. I'm not abandoning you. Okay? Monica! Where are you? Hey! Answer your phone!
I'm not picking up.
What the heck have you done? Mr. Murphy called me and said you ran away. What's wrong with you?
What do you mean, what's wrong with me? Do you have any idea how scary it was for me? He said he'd take me out to a restaurant for my birthday because you wouldn't come celebrate with me. And after the dinner, he asked if I was really 18 now. Then, when we were leaving the restaurant, he grabbed my arm and started leading me down the street. Do you know where he was taking me? Did he not tell you that part of the story? You know, don't you?
He said he was taking you to a hotel. It was late. He's an old man. He was probably just tired and didn't want to drive home.
That's not it! He chose that restaurant because it was close to a hotel. I can't do this anymore. I just can't. I don't even want to think about what he had planned. He's pushing 60! He's disgusting!
Okay, I understand what you mean. Tell me where you are right now, and I'll come pick you up.
What? I'm not telling you!
Huh? Why not? If you don't tell me, I can't come and help you now, can I? Monica, please. Your daddy's worried about you.
Help me? Worried about me? I know you sold me to Mr. Murphy. Don't act like you care about me. He told me everything when he was dragging me to the hotel. He said he bought me and that I was his. And I know you told him that once I turned 18, he could do anything he wanted to me. You told him that, didn't you? He agreed to keep you from getting fired and to pay off your entire debt if you sold me to him. I know about it all.
Monica, listen to yourself. That's absurd. A father would never dream of selling his daughter. Lol.
Except that mine did. You knew my 18th birthday was today. That's why you sold me to him so close to it. You're not my father anymore. I don't care what happens to you. Actually, I know what's going to happen to you.
What's going to happen to me? What do you mean? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just get your butt back to Mr. Murphy's house right now. I don't want to hear any more about this. Got it? Get back to his house right now. I mean it. Listen to your father when he tells you to do something.
I'm not going back to his house, and I'm never listening to anything you say ever again. I'm getting someone even more powerful than him or you to help me. It's all over for you.
What? Lol. More powerful than me or Mr. Murphy. What the heck are you talking about? Oh. Look, you're my daughter, so I can do whatever I want with you. I raised you for almost 18 years. This is the least you can do to repay me.
I didn't want to believe this. I didn't want to believe that you didn't love me. I loved you, Dad. How could you do this to me? Now I'm really glad I did what I did. You thought you had solved all your problems and got out of debt by doing this to me. But your problems are only just beginning. Goodbye.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? Monica! Hello, Mr. Sanders. I noticed I got a text from you. It's really strange for the CEO of our company to be texting me like this. Oh, Mr. Clark, I see you haven't been arrested yet. I'm assuming this is about the incident. Do you think it would be possible for you to let me see my daughter again? Mr. Clark, what are you talking about? You don't have a daughter. Isn't that what you told me? You're quite the kidder, Mr. Sanders. I'm talking about my daughter, Monica. I know she's with you. Nothing she told you is true. She's delusional. Her mom died when she was young, and she didn't take it very well. She's never been the same since. That's why you can't blame me or Mr. Murphy for anything. Nothing she said is true. You messed up at work really bad, and your productivity has reached an all-time low recently. Even still, I believed in you and kept you on at the recommendation of the regional manager. But I had no idea you were this type of person who tried to sell his own daughter just to get out of debt. I'm not even gonna ask what you did to get into so much debt. I would never dream of selling my own daughter. I did no such thing. Stop trying to talk your way out of this. You said that your daughter is delusional, and what she told me isn't true, right? My wife and I found your daughter at a hotel after she ran away from Mr. Murphy. She told us details she couldn't have known unless this really happened to her. And the fear and hurt in her eyes seemed very real to both me and my wife. Are we delusional too? That's not what I'm implying. But as far as I know... Stop this. You don't seem to fully understand what kind of trouble you're in right now, do you? To secure your own future and get out of debt, you sold your daughter to Mr. Murphy. You know the police have already arrested him, don't you? It makes me sick to know that I had two horrible people working at my company. One willing to sell his own daughter, and the other looking to buy another human being. Mr. Sanders, what's going to happen with me? Are they really gonna find me and arrest me? I know you can help me out. Isn't there something I can do to make it worth your while? Do you want me to apologize again for screwing up and losing that account 2 months ago? I'm really sorry. If you get me out of this, I'll owe you my life. Isn't there some way you can find it in your heart to help me out? I'll do whatever you want me to do. Getting a job at your company was the best thing that ever happened to me. Pull yourself together. You should be thinking of your daughter instead of trying to save yourself, shouldn't you? You're supposed to be her father. What you did, and even the things you're saying and doing right now are disgusting. You must be insane. Getting hired at my company was the best thing that ever happened to you. Are you saying that having a daughter and raising her to be a wonderful person means nothing to you? Well, that. You ruined your own life, and to try to fix it, you wanted to ruin your daughter's. I despise people like you. There's no way I'll help you get away with this. I think most people in the world would agree with me, don't you? So, is that how you want to have it? Pardon me? You're telling me you don't care what happens to your company? What are you trying to say? With what happened here, your company is going to lose all credibility and respect that it once had. Like you said, you had two horrible people working for you. You hired both of them. If this gets out, your company is going to be the most hated company around. So, if you won't help me, I'll make sure this gets out, and everyone knows what kind of people you had working for you. Lol. It'll only be a matter of time before your whole company goes bankrupt. But if you help me get out of this, I can make sure none of that happens. All you need to do to stop that from happening is give me your word that you're gonna get me out of this. We'll just say that Mr. Murphy did this all on his own, that he kidnapped my daughter. What do you say? Think about your company and think about your future. Helping me out of this doesn't seem like such a bad idea, now does it? I think it'd be beneficial for both of us. What do you say? Are you with me? I see what you're saying. I'm a businessman myself. I understand what you're trying to do. See? It's not such a bad idea. No. I think I'd rather see you locked behind bars. What? Take a look at the news on the internet. Wait, I'll send you a link. 18-year-old high school girl rescued by local business tycoon. Nice headline, huh? Wait, what? It's already out in the news. Well, on the local news anyway. The names haven't been released yet, but I don't think anything for my company or for my workers is going to change much. Have you read the article? The reporters went crazy praising me for rescuing that girl from those evil men. Read the article. It's great. This can't be real. You fabricated this news article, right? You wish. It doesn't seem like anyone is going to hate me for rescuing a young woman from two terrible men. I think any negative press for the culprits being employed in my company will be balanced out by me saving the day, don't you? This can't be happening. Even if it does end up impacting business, I'll just work harder and build the company back up. I've got more than enough money to rebuild this company 5 times over. And I've got more connections than you could imagine. I've got lots of options. But there's only one way this will end for you. Mr. Sanders, please, I'm begging you. Isn't there any way you can help me out of this? I'm going to be submitting this chat history as evidence against you as well. I'm done talking to you. Please, Mr. Sanders, don't let this happen to me. I don't want to go to jail. Now it's your turn to see how it feels. Imagine I'm selling you to the police.
Right after that, my dad was found and arrested. Both him and Mr. Murphy were put in jail. They'll be behind bars for quite a few years, so it makes me feel a little better. But still, I couldn't stop crying because of what happened. I said this when Mr. Sanders came to rescue me, but I can't stop thinking about it. Why did I have to get someone I don't know to help me? Why wouldn't my own dad be there for me? I guess he was too focused on himself to care what happened to anyone else. Or maybe he just didn't know how much he meant to me. Or maybe he just didn't care. I'm just glad that Mr. Sanders was willing to hear me out when I contacted him that night. He and his wife came down to get me from another hotel I had ran to escape Mr. Murphy and pass the night. The Sanders were nice enough to let me stay at their place until the whole thing was settled. But having no parents and no close relatives to stay with, I really had nowhere to go. Mrs. Sanders said I could stay with them if I wanted, even after the trial and everything was finished. I hadn't realized it before, but I had felt so comfortable and safe with them ever since the first night I stayed with them. So I took them up on their offer. It's been a few years now since that whole incident. I've graduated college, and now I'm working at one of Mr. Sanders' branch offices. The branch that I'm at is really far from where I grew up, so even if my dad and Mr. Murphy get out of jail, I don't think I'll have to worry about them ever again. I'm working really hard at my job. Maybe it's because I feel I owe it to Mr. Sanders for helping me out. I still think about the incident from time to time. That night, when I messaged my dad for help and he refused, I felt so alone. But now, things are going so great for me, and I'm so happy. I've made lots of new friends in the city I'm in, and I enjoy going to work every day. Sometimes it feels like what happened in the past wasn't even real. I'm just going to try to not think about it and focus on the present. I have a great job now, and even a new boyfriend. Who knows? We might even be starting our own family together soon.